Congresswoman Laurel joins me now. She's a Republican from District 15, which covers parts of Hillsborough and Polk counties. Welcome back, Representative. Great to have you on again.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, lots to talk about. It's been a very busy couple of weeks, to say the least. And I want to start off talking about what happened today to get your reaction to the Secret Service Director, Kim Cheatle, resigning today. Do you see this as a step in the right direction?
Yes, it's absolutely a step in the right direction. So today we had a hearing in the Homeland Security Committee to begin the process of getting answers about what happened and what went wrong. Yesterday, members of the committee went out to Butler, Pennsylvania, and actually walked the site where the assassination attempt occurred. And I joined that group, and getting to see it, to see that area. It's not very large. The buildings were very clear, in plain sight. So it's evident that this was really a catastrophic security failure. So we are committed to ensuring that we get to the bottom of what happened, what went wrong here, so that we can make sure that it doesn't happen again. And I will say it's been a very bipartisan effort. We've seen Republicans and Democrats alike really pointing out what a critical failure this was, and that we need to do more to ensure that this doesn't happen.
And here we are, ensuring that it doesn't happen when you're in the final stretch of a very heated campaign. And, how can there be any confidence going forward that the candidates will have the protection they need, especially since, we hear from the Trump campaign that they've been asking for more resources for protection for months now, and that they've been turned down repeatedly. So, how can there be a level of confidence as we really get into the final stretch of this campaign?
Well, that's exactly right, is that the campaign of President Trump has indicated to us that they asked repeatedly for additional resources. And the other thing that we know is until recently, they were actually Democrats in Congress calling to end his Secret Service detail. So, this is a very stark reminder to us all about just how important it is to provide adequate, strong protection for President Trump and all of the presidential candidates as we go through the home stretch of this election. So we need to understand how this happened, what the failures were here, a failure to plan, a failure to follow up on critical information that was obtained the day of the assassination attempt, because the American public needs to have confidence, and these candidates need to have confidence that they will be safe from these types of threats.
Absolutely. Let's pivot, though. We have to talk about the other huge development today. That's Vice President Harris out on the campaign trail, evidently with enough delegates to secure the Democratic nomination for president. So how do you see that this race has now changed for Trump if he does indeed face Harris now?
So I don't expect that there will be a big change for President Trump. And actually, Joe Biden himself said it already. There's a change in the name at the top of the ticket, but the mission is the same. And that's the reality, is Kamala Harris has been part at the center of the policies of the Biden administration. She was his border czar, really the lead on the border policy and the catastrophe at the southern border that we have seen. So I think what we'll see is that really the campaign will continue, as it has been, a discussion about the issues and the different visions that the Biden-Harris administration have for our country and what President Trump has for our country. And I think those are the issues that we see resonating with voters. So I don't anticipate that this is going to be a big change. It's certainly not from the perspective of the Trump campaign.
We know that President Biden will be addressing the country for the first time tomorrow since he dropped his re-election bid. He is now a lame duck president. Do you have the same concerns as we've heard from some Republicans, including the House Speaker Mike Johnson, about Biden staying in office for the next 6 months? Do you share any of those concerns?
Well, absolutely. There are concerns about his ability to do the job. And that's something that House Republicans have been pointing out for a long time. This goes all the way back. We have multiple hearings in the Judiciary Committee about Special Counsel Hur's report related to the classified documents that specifically found that even though President Biden had wrongfully retained and possessed those documents, that they weren't going to charge him criminally because they didn't believe a jury would find that he should be convicted because he was a confused, well-meaning aging elderly old man. And that's who we have in the White House. So, certainly I think this is something that House Republicans have been calling attention to for a long time, that the Biden administration has been making every effort to really downplay and conceal from the American public. But I think the most important thing for us to look at right now is what we want to see. What is the future vision for America? And I believe that, that Republican vision that's focused on an economy that is strong, opportunities for American families, curbing inflation, securing our border. I will tell you, when I come home, that is one of the first things that I hear about from voters, and voters really across the political spectrum, is every American now is beginning to realize just how dire that crisis at the border is. And, I have every confidence that President Trump and Republicans in Congress will take swift action to shut that down.
Congresswoman Laurel, appreciate your time today. Thanks for being on.
Great to see you.